On this week's episode, a wood-fired pool heater. All right, welcome back to Fabbin Adventures, guys. And this week's episode is on a wood-fired pool heater. Now, you're not going to see any actual building in this video because it was a order that some people had asked me to see if I could build. And I just didn't want to take the extra time that they're paying for to be setting up video and all that stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do a walk around, show you everything about it, how I built it, how it's supposed to work, and let's go from there. All right, so we may as well just start right off with the business end of the pool heater. I don't know, you can probably see these copper lines coming out here, and that's where the water is going to go in through a series of copper coils inside, and then it'll go out the other tube there. Come here, bud, move over here just so they can see. And so we basically, these ends here are 1/4 inch plate. The main half pipe is 3/8 wall, and then 1/4 inch on each side here, and a little breather that I built. All right, you can see up here nice and close the draft that I built. This was actually pretty fun to build and definitely educating. It was my first one I built, and just to make it fit, you would think that you would just cut the inside triangle and the outside triangle the same diameter or width or whatever you want to call it, but that doesn't work because when you're totally closed it introduces air gaps. So I had to make the inside triangles a little smaller than the outside, and then you have no air gaps when you're closed and pretty well full airflow when it's open. So that was actually pretty fun to build, and I added this little spring on here so that you can adjust it when this bad boy is good and hot. Another cool feature, obviously the handle. But this here is just a spring that you can get at any old ordinary auto parts store, and hopefully that should keep the handle reasonably cool. And I positioned it so you can just give that a little snap with your thumb and open it up, and that opens up obviously to the inside of the burn chamber. So let's go inside here. So now you can see the inside of the burn chamber here, and this grate is where you'll be putting the wood on top. You'll have the good burn. You have a good size ash chamber underneath, and your airflow will come underneath and up into the wood and should promote some really good burn. Now here you can see the stack cover, if you want to call it that. Real simple, just a piece of light gauge tin on top of these 4 little pegs on top of the stack. Should stop any rain from getting inside this unit, and good airflow for the smoke and exhaust to come out. Now this extra rib that you see around here, that actually goes lower than the opening, which helps in sealing this real good and tight. And there's also plate inside behind the door to help the door seal really good. That way pretty well all your control of the flame comes from your draft down below here, and you should be able to choke that flame right out, or you know, get it set just the right amount of air for a perfect burn inside of there. So let's go have a look on the inside to the business end of this. So obviously first thing you're going to notice is the coils in here. Water comes in, goes through this multiple times and goes out. Really simple concept. This stuff here is really easy to bend. It's super soft, flexible copper tubing, and being easy to bend, it's easy to kink. So you got to be careful with that. And I made it super simple to replace the coils. If you ever need to do it, you just grab these rods, pull them out, cut the ends off of those tubes, and the whole coil comes out. You can coil up a whole new coil, put it in there if it ever burns out. Very simple design. And I made this little prop rod on the inside. You can drop a pin in here if you need it for when you're cleaning out your burner. This here plate is a diffuser plate, so that way your heat has to come up through here, which in turn comes through your coils and goes out exhaust. It makes a good portion of your heat have to go right through the coils. And that's just an idea that me and the customer were talking about. He said he wanted to try it, so we just made it a simple plate that's removable, and you can slide it wherever you need to get heat coming from both sides or whatever. You know, it's real simple, just a plate of 3/16 sheet. Let's have a close-up of this coil here, and you can see the exhaust, the stovepipe right out the back there, and then basically real simple right down to the grate. So I made the grate also removable for cleaning out ash or any sort of maintenance that you need to do. And that grate just comes out just like that. So I built this thing to be really simple and really serviceable, and if you ever need a new grate, which you shouldn't, this thing should never burn out, but it's no big deal. You just cut a section of this grate, drop it in, voila. You know, same with the tubing. Pull your rods out, pull your tubing out, replace it with new tubing. Really simple. The basic burner of this, real simple. Just half a 20-inch tube, some 1/4-inch plate, welded together. That I'm sure will never burn out. It'll probably be good forever. And just a few little replaceable things. That's really simple. Nice tight seal. And here, like I said in the beginning of the video, here's your copper line that comes in. Either way, it doesn't matter, in, out, or in or out, it doesn't matter, it just does continuous loop inside. And this copper tubing is just fitted fairly tight to these holes here, so you lose very little heat or exhaust out these holes here. So I gotta say, this was a really fun project and a little challenging with some stuff. I had a little trouble with warpage and how to combat that, but a really fun little project. When Kevin and Justina contacted me and asked me if I was interested in building something like this, you know, it was like, sure, you know, for sure. I love trying new projects to see if I can build them. I mean, that's what my whole channel is pretty well based around, is building projects, seeing if I can do it, and just having fun doing it. I love building things, and I have a great time doing it. So if you guys are liking this sort of weird old content, you know, from 4x4s to smokers to canoes to wood-fired pool heaters and whatnot, make sure you subscribe, share, like these videos, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell to be notified, don't forget to do that. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Fabbin_adventures, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday.